but also quite difficult when it comes to the what is the other mode, your convergence. When it comes to domination, though, we've seen a lot of scrappy fights, especially on Waterfall. Iron Fist in play, out of spawn, Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's happened. It's happened, and this is what happens. You know, NLE pops off in the tank. You go, let's get anti-tank in here.
That's the thing, yeah. I think that we've seen that with the recent changes, obviously doing a percentage damage of HP rather than just that raw damage that used to be the bane of all the strategists' lives. Already, though, what a start for Euphoria. ACSD has done mass amounts of damage, but you've always got to be careful when you see that Psylocke about.
And that's exactly why. A lesson learned, perhaps, but definitely taught the hard way. November 24 on that extra damage from the side, and you take a look at where ults are at, building up quite quickly for Happy, having a field day on the Hela, and that's exactly who the target is. November 24 on the dive, smelling blood in the water, and isolated DPS. Happy to oblige the fight, going deep for the duel, but will be taken out. It's a lot of damage waiting up top. Iron Fist not afraid to dive on it, and for good reason. Even someone like Venom might find themselves running away, but luckily as they're on the same team, they can pile in and just take those kills for free. This is a huge dive comp to try to deal with. I think it has a lot of potential, but once you do manage to group up and take that together, with this composition that's in play for Euphoria, I don't think they'll be under as much threat as if we were on some of the previous maps.
Yeah, I think as well, like a lot of it seems to be a more valuable counter to the Strange, and not so much the group. The group actually gives more opportunities to actually section off that dive from causing issues. So as you can see, you can't get near the group, just putting walls down around you. This time, though, they have got that pressure on, and, well, it only works so well. November 24 will be there to finish things off. The Dance of the Butterfly has been used kind of in isolation. That is a bit of a whiff.
Yeah, that's not great. Whether a misclick or misposition, that's something that's going to be paid for. Could be huge value already found, and now instead, November 24 running around looking for an opportunity to pick off one of these supports to have that valuable pick. Instead, it looks like ASD is the one to fall. NLE on his way back, managing to find one from up top. That's November 24. A big threat removed from the battle on the site. They've grouped up. They've got their heals, they've got their DPS, and really, there just is not that level of depth to the support that a Venom on his own can bring.
Sissoko has tried his best to hold on to that site for as long as possible, maybe hoping that the strategist could get back into position by the time, but it is now coming down to crunch time if they're going to fight for this first spot on domination. 85% already in play for Euphoria. This is an incredible start to them, and we're yet to really see the mass change to try and maybe adapt in this scenario. It's probably because that ultimate is online. They want to try and get up in the face, but at least for now, it's not been the greatest of success. Brute incredibly low, eventually will be taken out, but it's looking like there's going to be an immediate response. In fact, so much damage being done. We're going to get the Venom ult in an attempt to try and drag things back, and actually, I think that's exactly what it's done.
Clobbering time, almost online. There it is. It's just come in. If the rest of the squad can get it in time, we could see it put through to try to finish this fight here and now. 99% on the point for Euphoria. A lot to fight through, though. Namor trying his best to provide that value from afar. Keeping the tanks alive is a challenge at this point. Namor popping off. Just one spear needed. And there it is. It lands straight into Hippopotamus. This is it. Surely another support in the target in the crosshair of Namor. Oh, he's having a field day. Every shot seems to be landing, and despite some players escaping with a sliver of health, the new target always falls. Namor delivering shot after shot. Iron Fist, try as he might, he won't be dodging these spears, yet somehow a steady stream of those players keeps on coming. Eventually they fail to touch point, and we find it 1-0 as we move on to Warrior Falls.
Yeah, that was actually really impressive, because I think there's a moment in there where you see the Dance of the Butterflies, which takes down both of the strategists that were on the side of Euphoria, and they still managed to get there, or two of the three, I should say, and they still managed to heal through it. And that's where ASD, as you were pointing out, just goes nuts. I also say that this is probably the first time that I guess the thing has really been in favor of Euphoria throughout this series. They managed to have Fun 12-0 right now, yet to go down. And you think about how some of those fights went, it's actually very surprising that he doesn't have a death on the board.
We're about to see those doors open. 1-0 for Euphoria. A slow climb back here in the grand final, well and truly underway. Two chances to take this. Put us 3-2. And all of a sudden, we've got a game on our hands again. They have to continue with this push, as we said. It's been a very good showing. When you come to those second points, though, Ultimate's online. A lot of support ultis thrown in just to counter each other out. Flow keeping the squad nice and healthy, but Neko and Felix both have their ultis ready to go. They didn't even use them. Just scrapping straight into that fight, winning it easily. Only Happy had to commit anything. And just like that, the point is there for Euphoria. This is looking like a completely different team to what we saw just a few maps ago.
I think an aspect, again, you're going to have that triple support that they've been happy to run pretty much all the way throughout. And I think that this gives a lot of opportunities to players like Happy, who can play the Mantis in a manner of aggression, almost just damage boosting no more, but also damage boosting herself at the same time. Nonetheless, there is still going to be an attempt at a response. They're going to try and get back into this fight fairly quickly. Fun seemed like he was under pretty awful conditions, but he is still surviving within the battle of this site, and the Eye of Agamotto is going to drop down from above. That could be the elimination of everybody within those supports. 2 gone, 3 will make it. The Penta, only 1 standing, might as well just fall off the map. And wow, Neko even does it just as a little bit of showmanship towards the end. That Eye of Agamotto could not have been more perfect.
NLE, man, you can't play this game without him. His value is insane. Like you said, perfectly timed ulti. The fact that they stagger, it's just a couple extra seconds, but it feels real bad to be on the receiving end of that. Rejects. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Way too much. Fun overextended. And now the punish, well, it will be there. Good dodge, though, by ASD. He's been popping off on this Namor and looks to do it again. Lots of players low up top, and it's ASD! He's claiming them all! This one put to bed for Euphoria, surely. They've got control of the site, more than enough players, and even with 1 player on there contesting, all it's doing is staggering them more, because you're not stopping the percentage building up. They have 1 fight, if even. They're going to need a strange portal to get anywhere near this on the side of Reject.
There you can see them all waiting back towards the spawn, looking to dive back through that portal. That was almost an immediate death on the other side, but they are going to be able to hold on at least that little bit longer. ASD from above, looking to just try and catch those eliminations. Spots out a Moon Knight. That didn't last long whatsoever, as now November 24 has taken up the Namor, hoping to try and find something in response, and they are finding a response, but they need to get back onto the site, losing players left, right, and center, and November 24 wasn't quick enough at all. That is going to be the quick 2-0, and well, it really does feel like after NLE Chopper comes back into the roster, we have got a game on our hands.
Something has changed, Tom. The wind's in a new direction. The smell in the air is not one I've seen before. This